So there are three things you really need to focus on when you're getting your house ready to sell. The most important and number one is going to be curb appeal. I can't tell you how many times I've been either myself or with buyers, and we pull up to the house, and the first thing they do is they look at the property and they just go, "No, we're not even going inside." So you never even get a chance to get them inside your house to see how awesome it is because there's a tree growing out of the gutter or something like that. So it's really important that the very first and most important thing you focus on is curb appeal. And, first impressions, they really do matter. So we want to start by making sure that that exterior is clean and inviting and exciting, and it looks like a home that they want to make theirs. They can see that as their home. So here's what we want to do. First off, we want to clean the exterior. That means we're going to power wash the siding, the windows, the walkways, maybe even the driveway, the deck, back patio, anywhere that there is concrete or a wood surface. We want to get that cleaned. We want to ensure the front yard is well kept. It's mowed, bushes are trimmed. Maybe even if it's the right time of year, have some colorful flowers. We can even plant those when it's about time to go on the market if we don't have that naturally in the yard. We want to repair or replace any damaged roofing, siding, any problems with the gutters, any bent gutters, anything like that. And then the front door. Oh, my Lord, it is awesome when you touch up the front door and you put a fresh coat of paint because they walk through that. Everybody goes through the front door. And so it's a great opportunity to really give some wow factor. And don't go with just white. We want to put some color there. Black tends to be more of a luxury color, sometimes a very classic color, or you could go bold, like a fire engine red, or maybe a blue or a green. You want to avoid something like mustard or purple or lavender, something that is a little more unique. But bold is awesome. Imagine, if you've ever seen those HGTV shows like with Tarkel Musa, they call it, that's the whatever house that is. If you're the red door house, it's actually pretty cool. I personally like to paint our properties that we're selling. I like black doors. I think it usually goes pretty well. And lastly, you want to consider adding some outdoor lighting, maybe updating some existing features on the outside. It really kind of sets the house off and makes it a lot better. So let's go back. So the first most important thing we're doing is curb appeal, and there's a lot to unpack here. So when we talk about that pressure washing, we can either do it ourselves or we can hire somebody. Now, if you hire somebody and they're going to pressure wash the outside, the windows, the front patio, the walkway, the driveway, maybe the pool deck, that can add up pretty quickly. Depends how much time you have and how skilled you are with a pressure washer. It might cost you anywhere from a few $100 to $1,000 to have all of that stuff done. Or maybe you have a pressure washer or you rent one and you do it yourself. Just be careful. If you do it yourself, if you do the pressure washer and you end up with all the lines on your concrete, you're better off not doing it at all. And I would tell you, just stop. All right. That said, when you pressure wash and it's clean, it's amazing how much better the house looks. It just looks amazing. If there was one thing I would do, at first I would clean up and declutter the front yard, pick up all the toys and junk, mow the lawn, and then I would pressure wash. All right. So going now, nice segue right into the front yard. We want to keep the lawn mowed, even so far as to make sure that you do it once a week, maybe every Thursday, so it's freshly trimmed going into the weekend. So we want to mow the lawn, we want to trim it, we want to edge it, we want to be nice and tight. Absolutely just a beautiful lawn. And if you don't have the time, capability, or whatever to do it yourself, hire somebody, have them come every Thursday, pay them a little bit extra money to be responsible so that you're always putting your best foot forward when you have buyers coming to look at your house over the weekend. When it comes to the roofing, siding, gutters, if you have a roof with missing shingles, you got to get that fixed. It's going to stand out. Siding. I have seen folks that want to put a house on the market with pieces of siding missing. It does not look good. I can tell you, just spend the money, put new siding in. I will even go so far as to say, if you can't match the color perfectly, just put it up anyway. We actually bought a house, an investment property with mismatched siding. We said, you know what? It's an investment property. It's okay. If you want top dollar, though, don't do that. Put the siding up, and if you have to, you're going to have to paint it, right? Make it look good, especially if it's in front of the house. Gutters. If you have gutters that look like somebody banged a ladder into it and it's all bent or coming away from the house, even worse, or you've got like dirt in there and you got a tree growing out of it. I mean, we've all seen that. You got to get that fixed. When we already talked about painting the door, and the last one was that exterior lighting. You know, it's one of those, you can even just go so far as to go to one of the big box stores and get the little solar powered lights that you could just put along the driveway or along the walkway. Those are great. So the most important thing we talked about, curb appeal. Next, we're going to declutter and depersonalize your home. You got to remember, when folks come into your home, they don't want to buy your home. They're buying their home. So when they walk in and they see a giant 5-foot photo of your wedding, not helping the program. All right, we got to get rid of that. That is actually making it more your home and not their home. So how are we going to do it? So we're going to make it so that it's their home and not your home. We're going to remove excess furniture, personal items, get rid of them, and increase the sense of space. So you have things in your house. If you go get a pod, take half your stuff and put it in there and take it away, you're still not far enough. All right. I mean, I am not kidding. You want to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. You want to clean and organize your closets, your cabinets, your storage areas. You want neutral colors. I mean, if you're going to paint walls, let's paint them neutral. If that's not in the budget, well, we're going to have to just stick with cleaning and decluttering. We want every horizontal space as clean as possible. So if you have just things on your kitchen counter, like you've got the little what do you call that thing with all the spatulas and everything in it? No, put that away. We don't need that. That just creates a sense of clutter. We want we want a sense of space. All right. We're going to continue to declutter and personalize by fixing any minor repairs. A leaky faucet, a squeaky door, a loose cabinet handle, all those things are really minor. They're pretty easy to fix. You might say, that's not a big deal. I've been living with that for years. Great. Nobody wants to buy that house because, oh, by the way, if you accept a leaky faucet, especially when you're on the market, what else is wrong with the house that they can't see? Because that's an indication of deferred maintenance, of things that maybe you don't work on your house or care about keeping it up to code. And so these little things add up in the buyer's mind, and they think either it's not worth it or it's time to lowball. So we want to fix these and give a great impression about the quality of the house. It's their home. And then most importantly, once you've done all of this stuff, last part is staging your home. We're going to, if you're moving out, you want to put in tasteful furniture. We have a consultant that we'll bring in that will tell you what you need to do and get it all set up for you for renting the furniture for as much as 45 days. We'll get all the photos done. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And the last thing we're going to do is set the right price. So based on how much effort you put into these other things, curb appeal, declutter and depersonalize, staging, the more effort you put in there, the higher that price is that it's going to sell on the market, right? Now, wherever that price is, we're going to do our best to find that. We want to set the market price. We want to set the list price right there, maybe in just a hair below it, but pretty much right there. That's going to generate tons of interest. You don't need to worry about negotiating room. You don't need to worry about being able to give the buyer something. Not in today's market. Set the price at the market and let's get it sold. All right. If you feel that you want to set it higher so that you can negotiate, you're going to find that you're going to sit on the market longer. And the longer it's on the market, the more buyers are going to say, what's wrong with it? Everything else is flying off the market and flying off the market in just a weekend. This one's been on the market for 21 days. There's something wrong with it. If nobody else wants it, I'm going to come in low. It's time for me to make a deal because these people are getting desperate. And that's what the buyer's thinking. So you got to be real careful. If you set that high price, even if you start to bring it down to market, you may never get that full price again because you made the mistake of setting it too high in the beginning. All right. Now, if you do set it too high and somebody comes in low, we can talk about some different techniques of negotiating from there. And that's just a whole nother discussion. All right. So the most important three things that we're going to do is we're going to get that curb appeal right so that the buyers come up to the driveway and they go inside. They love it. They say, hey, this is our new home that we're moving into. And they get inside and you've decluttered, you've depersonalized. And again, they say, oh, this is beautiful. This is our home, not somebody else's. And look at the price. It's a fair price. We're coming in, maybe even a little bit strong because I see that there's a line outside. We need to even go in a little bit higher. So that's what we're going to do to make sure that we get our home sold in the shortest period of time for the maximum price is we're going to do curb appeal, declutter and depersonalize, and set the right price.